This is Steve Earle, and you're listening to KPFT Houston, Pacifica Radio for Peace.
Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Firm. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas obtain parole and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. For more information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthis, you can find it at the website, parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and audio images which may be found disturbing and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you at visiting hours next week. Mama ain't been doing too well, I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you get released. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
Dreams, I can see your freedom, I will hold you once more. To men with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This thing's my love. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio.
And welcome to the Prison Show. Tonight is Friday, June the 20th. And before anybody starts complaining, yes, we have arms going all over the place. Stop it. I know you're going to write in and say something. But we have a house full. We have a bunch of people in the studio tonight. Of course, Linda, David, and I are here. We have Dianna Williams, who is the organizing manager for Grassroots Leadership in TAJ, which is Texas Advocates for Justice. We have Dieter Cantu. He is the professor with the Windham School District, co-founder, Juvenile Rights Recover member of Just Leadership USA, and former Youth Justice Director at Collective Action for Youth. And he brought with him Kilren Randolph. They are in the studio. And, of course, we're going to have Abraham Bonowitz calling in. We may have Rue Bennet. She is also known as Bleezie, the rapper. We're not sure, because she's not here yet. But we're hoping, Rue, if you're in the area, come on down. So anyway, we've got a jam-packed show tonight. David has lined it up as usual. Fantastic.
The price is right. Come on down.
Come on down. Yes, that's right. I wish the price was right.
Hey, we all make the same.
Yeah, we do. Zero.
Zeros, huh?
Big zero.
Big zeros. So, Dianna, what you got for us tonight?
I am so happy to be in studio tonight. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah.
I like this.
Isn't it? It's cozy. We've got the arms all over.
I know. But for those who don't know me, I'm Dianna Williams. I am the Deputy Director
Oh,
with grassroots leadership.
deputy.
Yeah, I started with the organization as a volunteer back in 2016, I guess. Yeah. So, but yeah, Grassroots Leadership is a nonprofit organization. We have a criminal justice and an immigration platform. Our base members with our criminal justice program, Texas Advocates for Justice, are those who are formerly incarcerated, their families and allies. And what we do is to build campaigns to transform criminal justice policies. So, yeah, right now, our campaign, Care Not Cages, it's a real broad platform. Right now, we are working with our Austin office on the automated license plate readers. They've been trying to get that passed through the city council in Austin to give all law enforcement the okay to use the license plate readers, and we feel as though it is racial profiling. They're using it, or they can use it in order to increase the jail populations. They can also use it for just stopping people randomly, no probable cause. So we were successful in Austin on June 5th, I believe it was, testifying at City Council to stop or oppose them approving it. And we were successful in getting them to take it off the agenda, and they're going to reevaluate it and bring it back up later on. So that was a win for us at that time because, it wasn't a yes, they were going to do it. It was a no, we're not doing it at this time. So,
Which is a win.
which is a win.
That is
yeah,
a
we
win.
take wins when we can get them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do. So, so that's part of our Care Not Cages platform. We have the participatory defense program that we have here in Houston and in Austin, and that platform is where we go in with families into the Travis County courts and the Harris County courts, and we support the families, advocate for the families. We're the extra set of eyes to see what the players are doing in the courtroom. Our goal is always to help the families, empower the families to get their cases dismissed or time saved. Both is a win. So far this year, we've had 19 cases that we've had resolved with I think like over 600 years saved, either saved or dismissed. So yeah, so that's so far this year. So yeah, so we're really proud of
Is
that
that
program.
in combined Travis and Harris?
That's just Harris County. That one was
Oh.
Harris County. Yeah. Yeah. So that's some of the work that we're doing. We're also going to be partnering with Houston Justice Coalition on Project Orange, and that's where we're going to go into the Harris County Jail and register those who are in pretrial detention to vote.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So we're excited about partnering with that as well. What else? We got Night Out for Safety and Liberation coming up in August. It's every first Tuesday in August, and that is an event that's kind of countered from the National Night Out,
Night out.
where the police will tell the community what makes them safe. Night Out for Safety and Liberation is where the community comes together and defines what makes them feel safe. So we're excited about that. We don't have a venue yet, but I'll be back on the show before it happens on August 5th, and I can let everybody know where it happened. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's about it.
I like that idea because I live and work in a community that participates in National Night Out. It's like a big,
Right.
so hearing when you were saying that, it's like, oh, that's
It's different because safety can mean a lot of things. I mean, safety in jobs, housing, education. So it's not just policing. It shouldn't even be policing. So, yeah.
and a lot of communities, they like that the police. They like to see them in the neighborhood. The definition of seeing them is totally different from one community to another.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So that's about it for us right now.
Now, when you were talking about the license plate readers, are more counties looking to get those, or was that just Austin?
Well, the Austin, we've got the immigration platform there, and so we're feeling as though a lot of that is stemming towards being able to give the law enforcement the authority to stop anybody that they think should not be here. So that's why we're kind of, just really wanting to stop it, not have it happen in Austin, because it's, first of all, it's, just to stop people randomly with no probable cause. That right there is not, a proper process. So we're hopeful that when it comes back up in November, that we have the same amount of people who are fighting against it to show up again and say, no, we don't need that, because what's going to happen is they're going to stop someone possibly, and, for some reason they will be arrested, and then there's another body in the jail.
Yes.
And, so, yeah.
So, what, something else that constitutes care not cages? Give us an example.
Well, right now in the Harris County Jail, 80% of the people in there have been, I don't want to say diagnosed, but assessed of having a mental health, issues. So, Harris County has long been dubbed the mental health, the largest mental
It
health,
has.
in the nation. So we're advocating for monies not to go into building new jails, because that's kind of the flavor right now, is that what we're hearing is that, they're wanting to build jails, have that money funneled into the communities so that we can have the proper treatment for people who need it. Because, I've had my son had a drug addiction, and instead of getting a rehabilitation, he got a TDCJ sentence, for personal use of drugs. So, so just to have the substance abuse and the mental health resources into the communities, like the leaders say that they want to put those services, to actually do it, is going to make a safer environment and a community for everybody.
It will. I know I visited Harris County Jail quite a few times. And on one particular night, there was a young man who was clearly scared. He was autistic. And his parents were just screaming for him to pick up the phone. And that deputy just treated him so horribly. And he was confused.
Right.
He was scared.
Right.
And they wouldn't even let him visit his parents. And the fear on their faces, on his face.
Right.
I mean, there's no reason for him to be in that.
Right.
In a jail.
In a jail, correct. Yeah. Oh.
And that's how a lot of deaths happen in the jail.
Yeah, I think in Harris County Jail, I think we got 6, maybe 7 deaths so far, this year.
I thought it was more.
I think it's like around
Not
that.
That's.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Well, if somebody wants to write to you, because I'm pretty sure someone out there wants to write to you.
I'll be looking for it.
I'm sure you will. How can they reach you?
Yes, Grassroots Leadership. The P.O. Box is P.O. Box 88235, Houston, Texas, 77288.
Okay, go ahead and repeat that.
Sure. Grassroots Leadership, P.O. Box 88235, Houston, 77288.
Did you get that, Bill? He's gonna write you.
Okay, I'll be looking for it.
He's always telling us we got the wrong address. And I mean, we.
Yeah, that's a lot of times when y'all hear me say, "Can you repeat it?"
Mm-hmm.
That's why I want to repeat it. Right there.
Oh, thank y'all so much for having me on tonight.
We appreciate you being on. Thank you. Thank you for coming in the studio also.
Oh, sure.
So I don't think that we have Rue yet, do we?
Nope, we don't have Rue yet.
No
go
Rue.
Go to Dieter.
Go to Dieter. All right.
Maybe Dieter can jam for us.
Yeah. You want to rap a little bit? All right. Can he sit here? Come on over here. Let's switch places. And you can actually use this mic because I think David has that one on.
Yep.
Knock it. See if it works. Yeah, there it goes. Y'all remember to talk into the mic so we can.
I'm actually doing my job tonight.
You are?
I'm trying.
You're trying?
I only dropped my cane once.
All right, so we have Dieter Cantu and Kilron Randolph here. So what you got for us tonight? Why don't you tell us who you're with?
Yeah, so I'm with Juvenile Rights, which is an LLC or like a consultancy firm where we advocate for youth in what was called Texas Youth Commission, but now it's called Texas Juvenile Justice Department. And so all of our work is specifically for that population. There's about 19 of us, and we met as kids in TYC when we were younger. And so I would want to say like 15 years later, we go back not only to TYC, but the same facility that we met at and help those kids. So that's my man's right there.
And that's it.
It's my long-term friend right here, man.
So
y'all were sillies?
No, it was.
So anyway, you were saying that you also teach.
Yeah, I do teach as well in TDCJ. So shout out to Jester 3, Ms. Guidry, all the guys at Jester 3 unit. I teach redemption and restoration, and so it's like a module-based kind of like life skills type situation. And so I teach everything from public speaking to grant writing to financial literacy, credit, a lot of different things. So yeah, I go there. You know, it's volunteer, but I go through the school district, so I go out there.
That's great. So is that the only place, the only prison that you're at?
As an adult, yeah. All the other ones are specifically TJJD youth facilities.
Okay,
but like the state facilities, yeah.
State facilities. Okay, so you volunteer for the adults, but your job.
My job is this consultancy firm, and so I do public speaking workshops, policy. We just passed bill HB 1988, and so we just passed a bill for.
Tell us about that.
So it's for individuals. So a lot of us couldn't go into the youth prison because we all have records, but specifically we have records from that jail, that system, and so there was we spoke with TJJD and we're like, we want to help as credible messengers or whatnot, but this barrier, like, y'all not letting us in. And so we took it to the session, did the proper steps, and Gene Wu, everybody advocated behind it, and as of like last week or the week before, the governor signed off on it. So as of September, it's going to be in effect.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because it only makes sense that you should go in there and explain to the kids.
I mean that's the place we went to. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't go to TDC. I mean, I had TDCJ parole, but I never served time in TDC.
Yeah, it's like, who better are they to learn from than somebody who's been in their shoes?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he can tell you his story. His is a lot more.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear from you, Mr. Randolph.
Yes, ma'am. So after I completed TYC, which is TJJD, I didn't learn. Yeah, I went to prison. I bumped my head again and went to prison, and I did 8.5 in the Texas prison system. And I just want to for the guys that's in there, that's listening, the listeners, I just want to let them know, when you get out here, what you're going through now, out here should be a cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? The fight to get out of there, out here should be a cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? Even the days that I think is hard, and you think back on when you was in there, you'll take this any day. You know what I'm saying? You'll take it any day.
How long have you been out?
I've been out since 2020. I got it October 2020. Yeah, so 5 years, going on 5.
Are you off parole?
I'm off parole.
That's good.
Yeah, off parole. Yeah, I had a 10-year sentence.
That's good. That's good that you're off.
Mm.
Yeah, I know a lot of people often say that once they get out on parole, it's still like it's still in prison. It's just you have a little bit more freedom.
Yeah.
And then sometimes your monitor doesn't work, and
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
yeah, that's a whole nother story right there.
Yeah.
So what else you got for us?
Any kind of resources that people need on our behalf, we really just want to put the information out there that I feel like a lot of times when we serve time or we're in like a carceral setting, we feel limited to like a certain type of like labor job or like a certain trajectory with our career. And so we're really trying to, preach the gospel of like, that's not true. You know what I mean? Like both of us are first degree felons, you know what I mean? And got various companies from art appraisals to tequila to fitness to like, we do pretty much what we want, you know what I mean? And
You still got the gig with Reebok and Nike?
yeah. So I'm
talk
on
about that.
So I had a Nike collaboration, but I'm on the board of directors for Reebok, and so I received an award from Sports Illustrated and a few years ago. I don't remember when it was, but as of that, I'm responsible for like social activations and finding like community work across the nation where we can support what they're doing outside of like sports and entertainment, but like the community component. You know what I mean? And so, just things like that where we got to keep expanding and crossing over into like philanthropy, foreign service, diplomacy. We're really trying to take it. We're a real tight group. We're really trying to take it to like as far as we could take it. And the kids that we got coming out of TJJD now, they all got manslaughters and murders, you know what I mean? And they're in Fort Worth, Austin, Santa, they're all around Texas, but we get them employed, we get them housing, we get them clothes right when they get out, we get them what they need, and they don't feel limited to like, I gotta do welding, or I gotta do construction, or I gotta do, because you don't. So.
And what do you do? Fitness?
Yes, man. I'm on right now. Yeah, right now I need to take it more serious.
Yeah, I caught that. I caught it.
Yeah.
He tried.
Zim and wham wham.
Yeah, I need to take it more serious right now. I need to get focused and tighten up. I need to take it more serious.
No, that's my plan.
So is any of this tied up with Cantu's books?
In a sense, so that's how we first got into TJJD. We're building libraries within the jails. And so, because when I was there, I did 4 years. I did the rest on parole in TYC. And so I just didn't have any kind of literature to help me, once I was released. Like I had like Harry Potter and Dr. Saul. I wasn't reading that when I was young, you know what I mean? And so that sure ain't gonna help me when I get out. And so, we started building a bunch of libraries across Texas and then went to various states. And we kind of tie that into the project that we got now where we go in, we teach them the curriculum or the modules, we give them the literature, and then we connect them with pen pals. So once we leave, it's not just like a one-stop shop and you don't ever see us again. Like we connect you with a pen pal and then we show up at court with you. So at the age of 19, they got to go to a transfer hearing with a public defender to see if they go to the penitentiary. And so we kind of say, yeah, they got their correctional therapy and all that, but we got a success plan that we've created with them, and we present that to the judge. And then once they get paroled, we put them into, like, everything that they planned out. You know what I mean? So, like, we put them right into the career they were talking about, their streams of income, education, whatever it is. And so say we meet them in a capital offender group, they got, like, 9 months left on their sentence. We touch bases with them and then say, like, 3 months out, we start preparing everything, talk to their attorney, their family, before they go to court. And when they go to court, we show up and we advocate for them. We testify for them and say these kids need to come home. And so they just start coming home.
So how do they become part of the I don't know that much about the juvenile system.
Yeah.
So how do they become part of that program?
Well, I mean, that's really up to the correctional officers. That's so we have like the opportunity dorm youth, which are like the quote unquote
Model.
yeah, you know what I mean. And so we write all of them, but you got to go to like a specific dorm for us to like. Because only a few of us, like, again, they wasn't letting us in because we got records. I know soon it's going to change, but if you go to the opportunity dorm at Giddings State School, that's how, I guess they self-select based off their behavior, the correctional officers. But at Just a 3, I don't know how that worked because I started off with like 4 or 5 people, and then it just... I guess they told whoever else, and like I had a bunch of people in my classes, and
either or you're you're that good that
I hope so. Yeah, right. Or they just don't want to sit in their cell. Either one. But,
See what he talking about.
Right. But yeah, I had some real. I mean, I still write them back and forth. I travel a lot for speaking and stuff, but they still write me. I write them. We're gonna get it cranked back up. There's a few things that I wanted, done from TDCJ and Windham School District, like with a graduation, that I wanted them to feel appreciated and then work out like that. And so, I had to poke my chest out a little bit. So,
but it could change because you're right. Those diplomas, certificates, that means a lot.
It does. And they sat in these classes. You know what I mean? And we had like a budget for food, we had music, we had guest speakers, and a bunch of stuff. And I had to take it to another level. I had to elevate it because it didn't work out how I wanted to. And so, we gonna make it right. They gonna make it right.
Good. As they should. Because a lot of these men haven't completed any type of program, and they look forward to that. So it is important.
Yeah.
It isn't. It's very important.
And they sharp as like they send me like, I don't want to say homework assignments, but they like they mail me just like, man, they just so sharp, you know what I mean? And it's just like I felt slighted when certain things didn't work out after the work they've put in, but also the work I've put in. Like I drive all the way out here for free and teach these classes. I come and the sun's up, I leave, the sun's set, you know what I mean? Like the least they could have done, like we didn't ask them for nothing financial. We just said, let us celebrate these individuals. And, and so when they didn't, went to the DOJ and a few other things, so we made it work. I ain't gonna say too much, but
he's all like, but
right. Make it work.
But that's how it should be. I mean, if you can help, that it should be like that. So, are you assisting in the program too?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going up there.
Yeah, I'm actually going in and talking with them.
And what do you talk about?
I mean,
fitness.
Most of the same thing. But all the youth, that's what they on. They on it right now.
Oh, absolutely. They're on that.
They are on it. But it's just it's more of a personal relationship with them, with the youth, because like we've been in their shoes. So the questions that they can't get it from their counselors, or they can come to us, or they can write us. So it's more like a personal relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what did you do when you got out? Why you go to TDC when you got out? It's like more of a personal, because they got all these questions in their head, because they don't know if they going to prison or they getting out. You know what I'm saying? Or how did we make it once we got out? Or how did we feel? You know what I'm saying? So now it's like.
So what? And excuse me for being ignorant. I know at some prisons, specifically Ellis, I know that there are sections for under 18, under 17.
It used to be the Clemens unit at one time.
It may still be that unit, but they do have and so why are they there and some are in the juvenile?
Oh, so I mean, you can to my understanding, you get transferred at a certain age. When you go to TDCJ, you go to those type of
Okay.
units. And so when you get sentenced as under the age of 17, well, when we went, it was a 21 cop-out. Now it's a 19-year-old cop-out. And so if you finish your treatment, no infractions, no write-ups, stuff like that, you can come in at 16. By 19, you go straight home. Or like 15 by 19. Like as long as you finish your treatment by the age of 19. You know, back then we had until 21 to finish treatment, which was a long time. So now it's kind of like, I don't want to say set up for failure, but it's like if you have a year's worth of capital offender treatment, a year's worth of drug offender treatment, a year's worth, you know what I mean? And you're coming in 16, about to be 17 already, you're not finishing all that. There's no way you're finishing that by 19.
No.
You know, you got to be on a wait list, then you got to finish, then you got to go to the other one. And so most often than not, they're going back to their county to see the judge that sentenced them, and they got to convince them that they need to go home. And so when they don't send them home, they send them to a unit like what you're talking about.
Okay, I know a few that were 15 at the age of the crime and then they were certified as an adult and they went straight into prison. There was no like breaking them apart from they just went into the field.
Yeah.
So of course that was in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, it's also the severity of the charge too. You know what I mean? Like I know a few of my friends that were in TYC, like they were going to spend those years in TYC, but they knew at that age they were going to TDC. You know what I mean? And so, but those were like, you know, murders and stuff like that.
Right.
And so, but now, you know, I had ag rob. I think you had aggravated robbery. And so, you know, kids that are getting those charges now, you know, they got a lot of treatment stacked on them. And then it's up to like TJJD, like for the most part, recommends parole. But the judge within their county will say, you know, TDC or something like that. So that's why we try to show it for him to be like, I know this kid personally, and he's not going to come out just like freestyling in life. Like we got a real plan with him, and we got a network of people that are going to stay on, you know. And so more often than not, it works out.
So since this bill passed, it will enable more people to go into
people with records.
People with records, correct.
Yeah.
To go in who have experienced what they've experienced.
Yeah. And not just us, like we did it so anybody can, like these kids need people they can relate to, you know, that understand it and have been successful. So, you know, we just really kicked the door in to be like, you know, because local government gonna always listen to state government. You know, so I know that it's going to trickle down and say, like, these local counties, you need to let people live experience in, you know. And so once that passed, like, we had a big lift off our shoulders, for sure. So, because if we went to TYC and we can't go in, like, just imagine somebody went to TDC 20 years, 25 years, they definitely going to say, no, you can't come in here, you know. And so right now we just... I feel like that was a big win. We don't get no damn about no. Can we cuss?
No, not cuss, but you can say damn.
Okay, well we don't care about.
You can say damn.
Okay, but we don't care about you know, credit or nothing like that. It's just it took a long time to make it happen, and so I hope everybody comes into these, you know, facilities trying to help these kids. If you got a record, you know. So.
It's important.
Absolutely.
Now, do you plan on going into any other units besides Jester 3, or that's your...
Yeah, I mean, I would like to. Jester 3 was just... So I tried to go to, what's it called? I think Ferguson. And then, but they said I had to go through, like, the chaplain, and he was, like, telling me his calendar was kind of occupied and stuff.
If you take chaplaincy, volunteer chapel training, then you can go into any of the units.
Okay.
Through the chapel program, you'll just have to contact the chaplain and let them know what days you want to come in.
Okay. Yeah, that was the original route I went to Ferguson. Well, I tried to go to Ferguson, and then I forgot the other one I tried to go into, and they were kind of like we booked up, and so.
Yeah, that's why most of the volunteers will end up going to several different units
Right.
Because it depends on what the
Right.
calendar is, and some of the older units got volunteers that have been there for years and years.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
he's explaining.
They don't want to give up their spot.
And so that's why we went through the school district. That's why we were just like, we ain't gonna worry about it. Like, we'll
Yeah.
go through the school district. And so when we did that, we ended up at Jessup 3 as like educators. So, yeah. But I mean, to answer your question, I would like to go to more facilities. Yeah. Right.
I think people listening to this will be like, hey, you know, can you come? Especially if you're teaching like credit, and I mean,
Yeah, we teach trade lines, credit, how to get your SAM number, your DUNS number, like LLC and court, like all that. We teach all that stuff.
oh, Linda came walking out. And
Okay.
Rue says she's here, so I was going to try and let her in. Maybe she can at least come in and do a song.
yeah. Oh, Rue is here. Is it fashionably late? Fashionably. Well, how can someone get a hold of you? There.
I'm finna pull it up for y'all.
Awesome.
1319 Richmond Ave. The number is 66721.
That's a P.O. box.
Yes, the P.O. Box. Houston, Texas 77006.
What's the zip code again?
77006.
All right. I'm not sure if someone got that or not, because I'm sure he's eagerly wanting that repeated. So you said P.O. Box
66721. 1319 Richmond Ave.
Yeah. Houston.
Houston, Texas 77006.
Okay, and who did they address it to?
You can put Juvenile rights. I do D to Cantu. We'll get it.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get it. Put his name on.
Put his name on. All right. Well, I think there's. Hey. Hey. So our fashionably late person is here, Miss Rue.
How are you?
We appreciate y'all being here
We
tonight.
Appreciate y'all.
Okay.
We're gonna make it happen. All right.
You want to rap?
Yeah. No, I can't rap.
So, come on down, Rue. It comes right here. So, how you doing?
First of all, let me apologize for being fashionably late.
I said fashionably late.
I know that's been my trend, but I apologize. I've been doing really good. I've been focusing on my music, and I've just been elevating.
Elevating. I like that.
And I want to say I am a returning student at Northwest Educational. I got all my hours for my barber license, and now I'm going back for my cosmetology.
You
Oh,
go,
that's-
girl.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And you've had a couple of gigs, too, haven't you?
Oh, man. Man, have I been booked. I've been booked, man. Back-to-back studio to studio. I've been really quiet because I've been trying to build up, and trying to present it in the more industrial way, however you want to put it. So I've been really quiet, building it up, making my music, and just investing in myself and my craft.
I heard you wanted to sing one tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Are you ready, David?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hold on.
David.
Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Said she wanna ride with me. Messed around and got a high with me. I'm blowing on the sweet, the only thing that is my mind. Said she wanna ride with me, Messed around and got a high with me. I'm blowing on the sweet, the only thing that is my mind. Blowing on it, yeah. Blowing on the sweet, the only thing that is my mind. Hey, yeah. It's time to get grimy, my tongue is slimy, my son is grinding, finding Nemo for the cheddar. I stay grinding, steady supplying, always providing. I'm the one you need to get high with. I'm the one you need to ride with. like a tick and put it to your neck. Was next rich, bitches steady charging, trying to cop what I'm rocking from Houston to Boston. Yeah, from Houston to Boston. Yeah. I think I had another song that I wanted to do. I did this one last time. That's why I got thrown off.
Hey, David.
Where you want me to stop it?
Yeah.
I got a whole new one. I did this one last year.
Well, I don't have the track.
I sent it to your email.
This is the one you sent me. You sent me one of my email?
Mm-hmm.
The only one I had was the one you sent to my Facebook.
No, I sent one to your email. It was called Chemistry.
Yep. I swear I don't have one sent to my email.
That's the one I wanted to...
Well.
Yeah, that's the one you sent to my it went to my spam box.
Well, there you go.
Why don't we do that one for the break song?
I got you.
So you hang out until 9:55, and I'll have this one uploaded, and we'll do that at the break song, okay?
I got you. That's the one I wanted to do.
Well, this is the one that I had for the... I didn't see this one because it went to my spam, so I'm sorry.
Again, Murphy's Law is in full effect.
Yeah. It's all right. You were late, and we got to get on to Abe anyway, but as soon as Abe's done, we'll have enough time for you to do your other song.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
All right, so let's get to Abe. Hey, Abe.
Hey, greetings, everybody. How you doing tonight?
Doing great. How about you?
All right. It's a great show. I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of the music there, or the next. Anyway, so hopefully we're putting links up to that on the Facebook page. Anyway, glad to be with you all. I hope you're staying cool out there. I know it's going to be getting hotter, so just everybody take care in that regard. So I'm going to get right down to it. First, I want to make sure that you all remember to wish a very happy birthday to Melissa Lucio, which was this past Wednesday. I was hoping that we would have had a ruling from the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals to free her, and that still hasn't happened. But you can go on the Facebook page and send a happy birthday, a belated happy birthday message to Melissa Lucio, or send her a note to Securus, or whatever it is. But we're hoping this year and soon. Also, of course, a shout out to Blaine Nyland, who's waiting to be killed in September. But looking back, we had 4 killings this past week. Not this week, but the week prior to. In Florida, lethal injection. Alabama, another gas suffocation execution, which was no longer an anomaly or a big deal to people, it would seem. They made that a normal thing. Oklahoma, of course, executed John Hanson, who'd been talking for a long time, a guy that could have had a recommendation for clemency, a guy that would have been executed earlier, except he was in federal prison and administration wouldn't pass him on to Oklahoma to kill him. So once the Trump administration came in, they just asked for him again, and he was delivered, and they killed him, and that's what happened last week. Another one of those cases, the John Hanson case, where the guy is the less culpable person, and he got executed. And then, of course, in South Carolina, they had an execution, and that man chose lethal injection, in part because the prior person who was executed that chose firing squad, several people on the road chosen firing squad. And it turns out that the 3 men, the shooters, who were only shooting with rifles from 15 feet away, one of them missed entirely, and the other 2 shot off target. And the allegation that's being made is that they chose to shoot him off target in order to have him bleed out and have a much more painful death. And that's an allegation. Who knows? But it's a big question mark, and it's something that we have to raise. Now, that was the 6th South Carolina execution in 9 months. And so far they have not set another date, but that could be coming. And speaking of firing squad, we are looking at a new date Well, on July 9th, there'll be a hearing for a guy named Ralph Menzies in Utah. His execution has been delayed for well over a year now because he needed to have a hearing to determine whether his dementia is so far gone that he can't understand what's happening. And of course, they decided that he has enough of what's going to happen to him and why, that they will execute him now some 40 years after the crime. And so on July, there is the hearing to set a date, and they get 30 to 60 days to set that date or to carry it out once they set a date. So sometime in August, we'll probably see the next firing squad execution in Utah with Ralph Menzies. We'll see what happens there. And let's see, there's also a new date was set in Florida, pretty much right before the last person was executed there, just, again, a week ago, this past Tuesday, I think it was. But the interesting thing about Michael Bell in Florida, whose date is July 15th, I think, he is actually just today got a ruling to grant him an evidentiary hearing on the questions in his case. That hearing is going to be on Monday, and it's going to focus on newly discovered evidence. What's interesting about this is that it's the first time since 2019 that somebody with an execution date was actually granted an evidentiary hearing. So we're going to see how that goes and what they decide. But a state witness apparently has come forward to say that he did not actually see the murder outside as he testified. He only heard shots from inside. He revealed that he was coached by a detective on what to say and given favors, including releases from jail in exchange for his false testimony. So we're going to hear witnesses about this. And another witness also coerced by the same detective and the prosecutor who instructed him on what to say at trial in exchange for help with his own case. Sounds shocking, but of course, these things go on way too much. And on top of that, we have to look at the evidence, the horrific evidence, which is not going to be heard, but the evidence of his horrific childhood, the fact that he was sent to the infamous Dozier School for Boys, where he was sexually assaulted by a guard and forced to participate in a fight club for the entertainment of staff. The Florida legislature last year passed a bill to grant compensation to the people who, they recognize that this trauma was inflicted on boys in the school, which no longer exists, of course. But this will be the second person that, let me rephrase that. This will be the second person getting executed in recent years who was at the Dozier School. But at least 29 former Dozier students ended up on Florida's death row since 1976, which is pretty incredible if you think about it. You have to remember that the common thread that's running through almost everybody that's facing execution in this country is abuse and neglect and addiction at childhood, I should say, and or. There's not always all of it. Sometimes there's none of it. But a common thread through most of these executions is the fact of what happened to people as children. Does not excuse their crimes, but it helps us understand what we should be doing instead to help prevent crimes. So, it's just awful what's going on there. And the fact that we can see it and instead of doing something about it, they're just sweet as a rug with more executions. So, we know that that's going to be an issue. It'll be interesting to see what happens. That date is not until July 15th, but the hearing to look at this stuff is this coming Monday in Florida, so we'll see what happens there. Of course, this coming week, we are looking at two executions. So on Tuesday is, not sure how to say this name, but Thomas Gudinas, something like that. Gudinas, maybe. And he is scheduled to be killed on the 24th in Florida. Again, relentless trauma as a child, brain damage, severe mental illness, long before he ever came into contact with the criminal legal system. coronal fluid on his brain and hospitalized repeatedly before his first birthday. Horrific abuse through childhood, diagnosed with psychiatric disorders as a young boy, and institutionalized in 105 different foster placements. 105 different foster placements, and this is who we're executing. We know that we can be saved from people who've done awful crimes and hold them accountable without executions, and especially with these kinds of situations where people endured such horrific childhoods, there should be space for mercy. Where else should there be space for mercy? The execution of Richard Jordan, which is on the 25th, next Wednesday, in Mississippi, which hasn't had an execution in a few years. But now they're going to execute an 80-year-old man who is a Vietnam veteran, honorably discharged after 3 tours of duty, and then he murdered somebody. He made a mistake. It was terrible, but he's been sentenced to death 4 times now, and he's essentially been on death row for 49 years. This murder took place in 1976, and he was convicted and sentenced to death. And and this is another one of the challenges, of course, is how many times mistakes have been made and they have to go back and do things over again. 4 times this guy's been sentenced to death. And if you look at the petition, actually, I want to encourage people to do this. Look at the petition on the deathpenaltyaction.org for Richard Jordan, and you can see there the clemency video that was made by his defense team. It really gets into his service and what happened to him in Vietnam, and the fact that he came home with PTSD and, of course, did not receive the treatment that he should have had to help him recover from the trauma of being shot at all the time as a door gunner in a helicopter in Vietnam. So that's what's coming up this week. And then, of course, a week from tomorrow night in Washington, D.C., it is not too late to figure out your plans and get to Washington, D.C. and join us for the 32nd annual fast and vigil to abolish the death penalty at the U.S. Supreme Court. There's more than 60 people registered so far. We're going to be out there. The reason we do this every year at this time, I want to shout out to Professor Rick Halperin, who together with Bill Pelkey, who many of you all know, and Marietta Yeager. Of course, Rick Halperin is a professor of human rights and history at Southern Methodist University. The 3 of them, Rick, Bill, and Marietta, co-founded the annual fast and vigil to abolish the death penalty. We call it Starving for Justice. And many of you know Delia Myers and some other folks from Texas that have been coming up. I think Shavas is going to be there with us. We're looking forward to that. And in any case, it's always on June 29th, which is the anniversary of the date in 1972 when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Furman versus Georgia, striking down all the death penalty laws in the country and ruling the death penalty as it was then practiced to be unconstitutional, but not the death penalty itself. Basically, the fix, if you will, was to create a 2-part trial for people facing death. So you had a trial to convict, and if you were convicted, then you had another trial to decide whether to seek death. And, of course, we know that there's still all this unconstitutionality, but it was 4 years and 4 days later, on July 2nd, 1976, that the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Gregg versus Georgia to uphold the new laws that were written and that allowed the resumption of executions. And now, since then, we've seen over 1,600 executions. Now, one of those things that's unconstitutional that we should all be concerned is the racism in the death penalty. I'm not mentioning it just because Juneteenth just happened, and this is another part of the legacy of slavery. But the fact is that out of the last 23, out of every execution that has happened this calendar year, there have been 23 so far, the victims in all but one of those cases have been white. Even though the people who are victims of murder in this country half the time are people of color, but this is where you see. I mean, you can see racism throughout the system. right? But in particular, the place where it really stands out right now is that 96% of the executions that have happened this year were for the murder of white people, even though people of color are the victims in murder half the time in this country. How is this fair? How is this constitutional? You know, and there's a lot more you can look at. Rob Dunham from the Death Penalty Policy Project has a whole bit of a whole report on this on his Substack, Death Penalty Policy Project. I encourage you to look at that. And finally, I want to say that actually there's a little bit of positive news to end on, which is that in California there is a thriving campaign, the California Clemency Campaign, working to urge Governor Newsom to commute or somehow figure out how to take everybody off of death row before he leaves office. Now, there's over 600 people on death row in California. They haven't had an execution in quite a while. We don't expect to see one ever, hopefully, because hopefully there'll be some way that they can grant clemency to all those people. But this coming, let's see, on the 26th, what day is the 26th? I think that's Thursday next week. Let me just make sure. 26th is Thursday next week. There's a rally in Sacramento at the State House to urge Governor Newsom to commute all those death sentences before leaving office. 10 a.m. Pacific time in Sacramento. I will say that each evening during the Fast and Vigil, so June 29th, June 30th, July 1st, July 2nd, each evening is what we call a teach-in. We'll be live streaming that on the Death Penalty Action platform, so you can watch for that and hear all kinds of speakers, victim family members, death row family members, death row survivors, academics, legal professionals, activists, people that can share their voices of experience on the death penalty, and we'll be doing that as we do each year. This year's the 32nd year, so that's what's happening. That's the report. Find all the information on the petitions at deathpenaltyaction.org, and of course you can reach us at P.O. Box 89, that's P.O. Box 89 in Ghent, G-H-E-N-T, New York, 12075. That's P.O. Box 89, Ghent, New York, 12075. Any questions?
No, sir. We appreciate you being on, and thank you for repeating that P.O. box.
Okay, well, you're welcome. I'm grateful for all of you and to be a part of the team here, and we'll look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Great. Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Stay cool.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. You ready?
I'm ready. Yeah. I like that. It's time to get grimy. My tongue is slimy. My shine is blind. And finding Nemo for the cheddar. I stay grinding, steady supply. Always providing. I'm the one you need to ride with. Get high with. Cocking like a tick and put it to your neck. What's next, bitch? Tryna cop what I'm rocking. Yes, I'm Houston or Boston. Call me Bleezie with the rocket. I'm touching bases, many new faces. Yeah, I'm feeling like an Astro. Got Houston on my back. And my homegirls on the pole dropping that ass low. I spit that cash flow. Regulate and dictate like Castro. My heart's go. GPS be searching for that correct road. I'm tired of kissing these toes. On to the next one on a regular. I never stay on one planet. I'm always visiting different nebulas. Keep my business to myself. Don't even conversate on the cellular. I'm trying to tell ya. So hot if you hear me busting back. Bang, bang. Call this my big bang theory. Yeah. Call me Houston or Boston. Call me Bleezie the Rocket. I'm touching bases, meeting new faces. Got me feeling like an Astro. Houston on my back. The homegirls dancing on that pole, dropping that ass slow. I spit that cash flow. Yeah, I'm Houston or Boston. Call me Bleezie the Rocket. I'm touching bases, meeting new faces. Got me feeling like an Astro. Houston on my back. With homegirls dancing on that pole, dropping that ass slow. I spit that cash flow. Yeah, I'm Houston or Boston. Call me Bleezie the Rocket. I'm touching bases, meeting new faces. Got me feeling like an Astro. Houston on my back. Houston on my back. Houston on my back. Lopez got me feeling like an astro. Sitting on my back, I'm homeless, dancing on that pole, dropping that ass flow. Speed that cash flow. Hey, shout out Hobby Unit, Jacqueline Lopez, you know who you are. Sonia Amador, you over there at I think she just got you for it.
Oh.
I love you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. And again, I'm sorry for being late.
No problem. No problem. All right, David.
You're listening to KPFT Houston. Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Team. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped to represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas obtain parole and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. More information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, can be found on their website at parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
All right. So let's get to the first caller. Let's see, Joe. Joe's on line 2. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. I don't think Joe's there. Maybe? Why don't we put him on hold? Whoops, my bad. All right, let's go to Bobby.
How are you doing this evening?
Doing good. How are you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing good. I'll do a shout out to my son Bo at Estelle Unit and tell him that Mama will be up as soon as I can. And keep your head up. 69 will come around soon. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll talk to him later. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. Have a great weekend. All right. Now let's get to Mel on line 4. Hey, Mel. Hey, Mel. Hey, Mel, are you there? Hey, Mel, are you there?
I put her back on hold. It's going to be one of them nights, I guess.
I guess it's going to be one of those nights.
We were excited. We thought we had callers, and now this is what we get.
I know. Let's see if Mel's there. Maybe right. Mel figured out what was up. Hey, Mel. Mel did not figure it out. So let's go to Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer.
How are y'all?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Well, go ahead.
I want to tell my brother Bobby Woods on Polinsky, and he did get his tablet on Monday, I think.
Thank you. I was going to ask him tonight because I emailed back and forth, so I was hoping he did.
He did. He did get it, and thank you for all that. No. He is so happy.
Oh, good.
And I want to tell him that I love him, keep his head up, and we're hoping that things will keep going up, and we're hoping we hear back on some news soon. And I love you, Bubba, and hopefully we'll get out and see you soon. Thank you, guys, and y'all have a good night.
You too. Have a great weekend.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye. All right. Now let's get to, let's see, Lydia. Hey, Lydia. Hey, Lydia's not here.
That's
there
Lydia.
you are. Oh, hey, Lydia. Where?
Hey, hi.
Ooh, it's going to be one of those nights.
It's going to be one of those nights.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah. I'm doing good, doing good. It's a good night. We got a little bit of rain here in South Texas, so it's good.
Good. So how else what you got for us tonight? You're live on the air.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Oh, not much. I thought I was put on hold. I was going to be put on hold. No, it's a beautiful night. It's a clear night. We got a little bit of rain. Much needed rain, as long as it's not a storm, but it's a beautiful night. And I got to talk to Beto today. He called me today. He hadn't called me for 2 days. I think they're watching all those, hearing that music and watching those movies. And
yeah.
Yeah. So I said, Lord, my son hasn't called me. I said, no, but I heard from him tonight, so that was good. And we're good here in the valley. I don't know if my sisters will be calling tonight. Nobody's reached out yet, but just want to say hi to all the guys. You know who you are. Big Will, Eric, Lane, Roderick, Mark. Am I forgetting somebody? My list keeps getting shorter and shorter, I think. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll let you know.
Oh, Blaine.
No, you said
Can't forget
Blaine.
Blaine. I said Blaine?
Yeah, but you can say him again. He'd like that.
He'd like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're here after, like I said, it's just quiet and it's cooled down some, so that's good. That's a good thing. But I'll see my son on Tuesday, so that's a good thing. And his cousin will be coming with me, Beto's cousin, so he hasn't seen him in a while. And we're good. We're good, Dani. As long as we're healthy, we're good. But that's all I have for tonight. I watched the Rangers game, and they won, of course. But it was a good game. And that's about it, Dani. You all take care. You have Linda drive safely. No, she drives a long ways. But you all take care up there in Houston.
All right. Well, thank you, Lydia. You have a great weekend.
You too, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night. All right. Now I think Joe was on earlier, right? Let's get to Joe. I think something happened with his connection. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. Maybe not.
I told him to hang on because last time we called his name, I told him we was going to put him on hold. He said, I'll hang on. So I don't know.
Well, he's there.
He can hear his TV.
Hey, Joe. Well, ain't that something?
She's going to put him back on hold.
Okay. Let's get to Robert. Let's do Robert. Maybe he'll be there. Hey, Robert.
Hey, hello.
Hey, you are on the air. Go ahead with your shout out.
All right, I'm going to shout out to Marlon Webb. He's on the Estelle unit. I just say hello, and we love him, and everyone from the Norman G area and here in Bryan College Station. And thanks to you and the radio station.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
y'all.
Thank you very much, and you have a great weekend.
Yes, ma'am. You too, then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Now, do we have Joe?
Yes.
Hey, Joe. Go ahead.
This is Joe, and I'd like to send a shout out to Robert Raby and Samuel Oliver and all the inmates on the Ellis unit. I did 28 years there, and I just want to reach out to everyone that's still there. And I want to give a shout out to PT, or Cajun Bandstand, and Huey P. Moe used to send me songs every Saturday, on this station. And I just want to thank y'all for all y'all do. And keep loving y'all. Have a good night.
You too, Joe. Have a great weekend. That was sweet. That was sweet. All right, now let's get to Cinnamon Bun.
Hey, Brown Sugar. Just willing to let you know that I love you and miss you very much, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you soon. Take care and be safe. Even if from afar, I'm close to you in spirit. Thank you, Prison Show, for making this happen.
All right. Now let's get to Eva Maria.
Good evening, everybody. This is Eva Maria from Germany. I would like to wish you a blessed evening and a good weekend, especially to those who don't have friends or family outside prison. I would like to say, as every Friday, I haven't forgotten you. I think about you, especially now in the summer heat. I hope it's not too hot in Texas. Here in Germany it's quite hot, and I do hope that you can live with the heat as well as possible. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.
Well, it's definitely hot in Texas. Right, David?
Good evening, everybody. This is Eva Maria from Germany.
It's a scorcher.
Yeah, David.
I hit the enter button on the keyboard and it started over. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, especially when you hit the...
I've never done that before.
Well, now you have.
Well, at least I know it worked because I'm always using this mouse. Now I know I can use the enter button.
Oh, great. Now you...
Learned a new trick.
You did. You learned a new trick.
Accidentally.
All right. Yes, it is a scorcher. I hope everyone's trying to stay cool. Remember the heat directive. Don't forget that. Okay.
What is the heat directive?
The heat directive is the directive for heat. I don't have it in front of me. I don't remember it's their policy. It's TDC's policy regarding heat. Like, they have to be provided ice water. They have to be provided respite fans. If you're on a unit that has multiple plug-in areas, you can have 2 fans. If not, then just 1. But you can also get the fan from, sometimes the property has a few they can loan you, or you can go to the Fan Direct program, ask some of your friends, family, they can do that that way, because you can't buy one on e-com, but you can do it through the Fan Direct program.
Is it part of the directive too? If you go on a chain, you can take your fan with you?
Absolutely, that is part.
I love that part.
Yeah, that I think a few years ago they weren't letting you do it, but now it's part of the policy. Of course, we all know that policy is not followed. And speaking of policy, Stacy Howard over at the Styles unit, we got your letter here at the prison show, and I'm going to see if I can help you. So everyone out there, if you know Stacy Howard over on the Styles unit, let him know that the prison show did get his letter. All right. Let's get to Caitlin.
This is a shout out for Bethel Garza in Polunsky. Hola, how are you? I hope that you're in good health, spirits, and that there's a smile on your handsome face. As for me, yeah, all is good. I'm here now with Daytona, and I'm just down from Buddy, and I gave him carrots. Yeah, he's one happy boy. I still can't ride him because of my wrist, and yeah, I'm still kind of off work for another month. But at least, yeah, I can drive and do something, so it's better than nothing. So everything is kind of improving a bit. Daytona is here, and she is snoring. Yeah, she is fast asleep. Yeah, I said I was up with Buddy today, gave him carrots, came home, and now I'm with Daytona. Other than that, yeah, chilling out. Tomorrow, one of my neighbours is having a barbecue, So we're all going to sit out and have some fun. And yeah, everything else is going good. So please know that I'm sending you hugs, and yeah, good night, and stay safe. So good night and sweet dreams. And to the other guys, you know who y'all are. Eric, Mark, Blaine, Will, Debo, and Rudy. Hope you all are doing good and staying safe. And yeah, so good night, y'all. And to everybody at the prison show, a big, big thank you for making this happen.
Thank you, Caitlin. You know, here at the prison show, we do try to help in any way we can. We are not attorneys. Don't forget that. We are not parole attorneys. We are not criminal attorneys. We are not attorneys. But what we can do is help with small things. For instance, Bobby Woods at Polonsky needed a tablet, and we definitely assisted with that. It would have been nice that Securus let us know that that they could help with that, but they never did let me know that they were going to do that. So I'm glad to hear his sister say that he got his new tablet. Oh, I thought she was talking to me. Anyway, but just remember, we can help with a few things. If you need a copy of the heat directive, we can help with that. We can help with just making some phone calls for you, maybe. Maybe you have flies. You got flies, David?
Pete does. Pete said he got rid of them and they come right back.
Come right back?
Yeah, he said there's a big old pile of goop or something or another in front of the chow hall, and they must have laid the larva there. So as soon as the safety person had come along and fumigated everything, then all the larvae hatched, and next thing you know, you got more flies.
Wait, a big pile of what? Goop?
That's what he called it, goop.
Goop.
God only knows what it was if it's got fly larvae in it.
And if it was right outside the chow hall.
Yeah, it sounds nasty.
It does sound nasty.
But he said that the flies are everywhere, and all in your face, in the drinks. I mean, it just...
The flies are so bad at every TDC unit. Some are worse than others. Some hitch a ride with you when you're leaving.
Well,
they're like on your dashboard screaming.
I think they're bad everywhere.
Yeah.
We got fly strips hanging in our house. And the first time I put fly strips up, Dee Dee thought it was nasty until she seen all the flies that got stuck to it. I just get tired of them. They harass me.
Well, you know what they say.
Yeah, they like dookie.
Yes, they do.
I guess I'm just a big old pile of...
I was like, damn, I can't say that word on the air. Damn.
Dookie's okay.
Yeah, but dookie is good. And dookie is good.
I see how you are.
Yep, but I'm with Dee Dee on the fly strips. Ooh.
Yeah, but it's better to have the flies on the fly strip than on you.
Well, I mean, you could put them the fly strips outside, maybe.
If the flies are inside, they don't do no good outside.
Well, the flies inside will die really quick, but it'll stop the new ones from coming in.
Them suckers buzz around all on the TV and on your face and on your knee, and yeah, and like Pete said, they get in your drink. There ain't nothing worse than to take a swallow of your coffee and get a fly.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yep. So I put some fly strips up. I got fly strip hanging from my ceiling fan and a fly strip hanging over by the kitchen window, and a fly strip by the back door because we let the dogs in and out, so the flies come in.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And right to the strip. So I put one up one day, and she said, "You see how many flies are on that fly strip?" And I had to go change it the very next day. It's a lot of flies.
Yeah.
So we know what you're going through, Pete.
Yeah, that I don't. The only time I was ever around that many flies was at the Win unit, when they were like everywhere in my drink that I was drinking, and I mean before I could even put it down on the counter, the flies were all over it was nasty. Anyway,
you didn't just pull it out and finish your drink?
No. No, I did not.
Pull his wings off.
Oh, well, I don't want to be cruel.
What, he ruined your drink?
Yeah.
Turnabout's fair play.
Well, let's get to you wanna get to Miss Linda, do her shout outs.
I've got a lot tonight because I got a lot of stuff, a lot of letters.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. Xavier Davis, Jason Walker, Jose Chacota, Antonio Gilbreth, Joe Laws, Chris Conwell in Indiana, Antonia Aguiano, David Duran, Tyrone Williams, Raymond Becerra, Jack Carter, Edward Holland, Eric Pleasant, Ray Freeney, Sean Glatz, Curtis Allen, Juan Cervantes, Cody Lloyd in Washington, Devin Wynn, Arancio Gonzalez in California, Trinity Morton, Frederico Hoban from Indiana, Dean Deal, Joshua Lale in Maryland, Jimmy Harris, Terrell Rogers, Juan Segura in Oklahoma, Christopher Quisenberry, Curtis Allen, Juan Cervantes in California, Cody Lloyd in Washington, Damon Blunston, Charles C. Bolton, Jordan Bright, Travis Fletcher, Ken Decker, Jeff McClendon, Alfred Mitchell, Jeremiah Rodriguez, Tyler Adams, Chris Foster, Victor Loya, Reginald Matthews, Gregory Allen, Curtis Robertson, Midget Titan, Paper Cup, William Owen Sr., Stephen Curry, Charles Thompson, Talon Carter, Dennis Price, Samuel Solomon, Robert Roberson, Robert Satterfield, Robert Solis, Lucky Ward, Ronald Haskell, Gary Green, Franklin Davis, Micah Brown, Jaime Cole, Blaine Milam, Paul DeVoe, Marcus Drury, Pete Russell, William Spear, Britt Ripkowski, Christopher Turner, Larry Hatton, Bill Sims, our famous Bill Sims, Iron Thunderhorse, David Wood, Walter Sarto, and Joel White. Woo, that was a lot. Good night, guys. Have a great week.
All right, let's get to Kiki.
Hi, this message is for Rodney Reed at the Polinsky unit. Hey Rodney, it's Kiki. Just calling to let you know I'm thinking of you. It's Friday morning, about 9:53 a.m. Just getting ready to go to Doug's for the weekend so I can get busy over there, do my thing, and just gonna take a rest too and eat healthy while I'm over there. Visit with Doug for the day, or for the weekend I should say. Anyways, I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there, staying strong. Say hi. Say hi, Bam Bam. Bam Bam. Oh, Bam Bam was just meowing. I was trying to get him on the video. Bam Bam.
Aww.
Hey. That's Rodney. Rodney. Say hi. Say hi. Bam Bam's in jail right now because I've been letting him in and out of the house this morning, the back door, and finally I had to put him in jail so I can get ready to go. But anyways, just want to call us, I'm thinking of you. I'm doing okay, staying strong, keeping the faith, and hopefully you're doing the same. Give me a call. I'm still waiting for your phone call, and I got that money on there so you can call me, so get on it, Rodney. I love you. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. God bless. Take care. Stay strong to everybody incarcerated. And I wish you all the best. Thank you. Bye.
That was so cute. That was adorable. All right. I'm going to do my shout outs. And of course, I start with Farron and Blaine. And then I got T. I've got Big Head. Hey, Big Head. Jason Thornburg. Quick. Larry, Britt, Rodrigo, Xavier, Troy Glover, Travis Fletcher, Stephen Drayton, Kenneth Decker. Hey, Kenneth. Eddie at the Wainwright unit, Denise Farmer, Brian Rogers, Joel White, Jay at the Wynn unit, Leroy, Brian Rogers, I think I already said Brian. I got him twice. Russell Rieger. You see Russell? Gotcha. And CJ, of course, CJ. So those are my shout. And like I said, Stacy Howard, we did get your letter, and I'm going to be making some shooting off some emails for you. And I think Linda will be doing the same. And of course, we have Juan Segura in Oklahoma and Frederick Young over in Indiana. And Vicente, I think I'm pronouncing your name right. They held your letter to me for a couple of weeks. So I'm not sure if Vicente Ortiz, I'm not sure if you got my reply or not, but be on the lookout for it. And David, what do you got?
Man, I got a whole slew of them.
A whole mess of them?
Yep. And last week I just did a couple out of TDCJ because I didn't have my list pulled up. But we've been talking about Billy all night long. Hey, Billy. Charles Don Flores, Clinton Young, Cornelius Robinson. Hey, Rob, how you doing, buddy? Dennis Wayne Price. They moved Dennis over to the Hughes unit. So how you doing, Dennis? You liking it over there better? Douglas Rivera, Iron Thunder Horse. I got Jay Van Story on my list, but I hadn't written him yet. Did you write him the other day, Dani?
Yeah, and I've spoken to him.
Yeah. All right, Jay. That was a pretty good letter I read that Dani let me read. I appreciate it.
Oh, you know what? You brought that up, and I did put that in the mail for you, Jay. Hopefully you got those.
Joe Anthony Ramirez, Kenny Morissette, Perry Eugene Williams, Pete Sines. We talking about your fly situation. Let's get that thing under control. Roderick Cooks, Roderick Johnson, Rodney Reed, Sonny Wilson. Hadn't heard from him in a long time, have we?
No, I don't think we have.
Yeah, it's been a long time, huh? I hope he's doing all right. Let me get my other list.
You got another list.
That was just TDCJ. So this is you've been telling what all states they're in, but it would take me forever. Adam Watt, Akeem McIver, Alexander Orchard, Andrew Westbrook. Andrew's out of California. Ashley Bradshaw, Brian Smith, Charles Miller, Crystal Minnie, Curtis Henderson, Curtis Otto, Daniel Campbell, Daniel Farrell, Daniel Lipscomb, Daryl Atkins, David Easley. Hey, David, I was listening to that podcast earlier, the one that you did back in 2020. It was pretty cool. David Saffel, David Weller, Douglas Stickle, Ireland McKay, Hakeem Tyson, Hugo, there's it goes again, Hugo Kusalpa. Hey, it's spelled Cuseallpa. It's got to be Kusalpa, right?
I would think.
Isaac Navarrete, Jaime Quijano Jr., Jamal Fisher, James McElrath, Jaron Reasonover, Jesus Vasquez, John Graves, John Thomas, Joseph Bender. Joseph's down in Galveston. Joseph Nimitz, Kerry Sellers, Colton Caruso, Kyle Trippett, Lamar Sanders, Larry Johnson, Lionel Rogers, Marcus Brown, Maria Pena. Maria's up in North Carolina. Mark Sykes, Marvin Covington, Matthew Hoover, Michael Flores, Michael Johnson, Montana Ruckman, Maury Holloway. Looks like Maury's out of New Jersey. Nicholas Smith, Rashad Eady, Richard Little, Richard Smeal. Richard's out of Pennsylvania. Ronald Allman, Roy Forbes, Ryan Kloss, Shabiz Mohammed, Stanley Corbett, Stephen Bartley, Stephen Drayton, Tiffany Cheeks. Her and Maria hang out, I think. Remember they were talking the other day about each other?
Oh, yeah.
Travis Walters, Tyler Shipp, Victor Gamble, Victor Loya, Walter Woodard, Zachariah Areola. Of course, you can't forget Travis. I was thinking about you the other day, and I did send your letter on over to Miss Leslie. She's not here tonight, but I did send your letter over to her. Man, hang in there. Keep your chin up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we were talking about youth, and he's really going through it. He's been in that county jail there at Fort Myers for
8 years, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. And the only reason is because Florida don't want to let go of him because he got like life without parole as a youth.
Mm-hmm.
But they've changed the laws. But Florida's not trying to do it. They're not trying to hear it. So.
No, they're not trying to hear it. I think a few states are not trying to hear it.
That's not right just to leave him sitting in the county jail for that long, though. They need to either go ahead and sentence him as an adult or let him go. I mean, what you do as a kid, you're not even responsible. Your brain's not even mature. No offense, guys, or gals. Your brain's not matured by that time. I don't see how they can hold you responsible.
I don't either, but...
Neither does the Supreme Court, evidently.
Well, they're leaving him in prison.
Well, that's Florida not wanting to let go.
Yeah.
So, what's that guy's name? DeSantos? I wonder if we write DeSantos.
DeSantis.
Is it? That's how you pronounce it?
DeSantis, yeah.
Is it O-S or A-S?
I think it's A-S. Or I-S.
Well, I-S. Well, whatever it is, he needs to up his game.
Yeah, write him, David.
I will. Is that what you want, Travis Fletcher? You want us to write him? We'll write him.
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe we'll get one of those, what do you call it where everybody signs it?
Petitions?
Yeah, let's get a petition going. Free Travis Fletcher.
Absolutely. Free Travis Fletcher.
I'll work on that tomorrow.
You will?
Yeah.
All right. We have Jason on line 1. Let's get to Jason on line. Hey,
Good
Jason.
evening, Dani. Hi, everyone. Cowboy Dave. It's good to be back. I know it's been a few weeks, but it's been a busy time. So I'll start off. Wanted to give my first shout out to Dennis Richardson for your book. I am anxiously awaiting that, and I appreciate that very much. So thanks. Looking forward to that. All right, and so from a regular shout out to my brothers at the Walls Unit, to Buddy, to Eric, to Corey. Hey guys, I will miss you tomorrow as I have another obligation, but which I'll get to in just a minute. But I hope you guys have a great session tomorrow. To my mentee Corey at the Ferguson unit, Trustee Camp. Hey brother, I did get your JPay, your message, and we are working on that class, that reentry class, actually, that we're going to be putting on. So we're going to be working on that and look forward to bringing that to you here in the next couple months or so. To Wall Street, shout out Ellis, my Ellis Kairos brothers. Hey guys, I'll see you guys next week. Hope you're doing well, if you're blessed. And this evening, a special shout out to my brothers at the Beto and the Cofield units, and the brothers who are competing in the Toastmasters contest. It is an honor to serve as your judge and witness the development of your communication skills that will be on display tomorrow at the Toastmasters speech contest. So can't wait for that. I will say that as a former 2-time Toastmasters Club president myself, I can attest that the skills that Toastmasters has given me has taken me many places, many great places in life. So enjoy it. All right. And for my mentor moment, I think it's kind of appropriate talking about success and success in life. So if you were to search the term success on the internet, or even ask 1,000 different people, your neighbors, you would likely get 1,000 different answers. Each response would give a different interpretation of what success really means for them. So for some, it would mean something like achieving a relatively small goal or a personal victory for the day. For others, may view success as doing things like earning a college degree or amassing wealth, power, influence, relationships, or even doing something that positively impacts society. So my question to you is this: how do you define success? Now, imagine seeing the photos of two different people living what appears to be a seemingly perfect life. So you have one person that is recapping a exotic month-long vacation, while another shows off a promotion at work and celebrates with a fancy purchase. So you might be envious of both of those people. You might decide that you're going to go out and buy yourself something fancy and expensive as well, or maybe you're going to plan a big vacation to show that you're successful as well, just like them. And for that moment, you think that you have reached true success. However, even after trying to mimic their versions of success, you may still feel incomplete. Philadelphia Eagles star wide receiver A.J. Brown was quoted in saying that the high of winning the Super Bowl wore off after only 2 days, that he did his best to feel like the champions did before him, but it just didn't stick. So it just wasn't what he thought it would be. And what really excites me, he says, is the drive to be great and to win on the field. He says it's the journey that he loves the most. So the truth is, your definition of success may never perfectly align with what other people's definition of success is. We have unique goals and values and priorities, and yes, faith, that shape a distinct picture of what a successful life means to us. So let me ask you this. I'll leave you with these questions. How does your past definition of success, how has that led you to where you are today? Do you feel the same about what success is as you did back then, now today? So this is why we're defining your definition of success. It's not only essential, but it's also empowering. And the sooner you pare down your true definition of success, the sooner you can channel your time and energy into pursuits that genuinely resonate and fulfill you. And as is my tradition, I'll leave you with a couple of verses. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. And that's Matthew 6:33. And the last one, Mark 8:36. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but to lose his soul? And that is my mentor moment of the week, of the evening. I hope that you guys have a very blessed evening, and I will talk to you next time. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night,
You
Jason.
too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's get to Mike.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike doing his shout-outs for the prison show. Here's my shout-outs. The guys in Texas, Guy Alexander, Jamie Cuppett, Stephen Russell, Stephen McGee. Shout-out for Philip Perez. Shout-out for Matt, Thomas, Edward Rees, Adam Wilkerson. Shout-out for Aaron Vasquez. Shout-out for Haas, Keith Money. Tasha wants me to do a shout-out for Payday. Shout-out for Oz. Shout-out for Curtis Robertson. Shout-out for Blaine Milam. Shout-out for Jesse Cortez. Shout-out for Raymond Lee Cart. Shout-out for Bill R. Sims. And a shout-out for Clarence Lee Bowman. Hopefully you're doing much better. And I hope everybody enjoys the summer solstice tomorrow, the first day of summer, and the longest daylight day of the year. Happy summer solstice to everybody, and you can continue to write to Mysterious Mike in care of David Collingsworth. And now back to the prison show. Adios.
All right. Thank you, Mysterious Mike. And now we have Miss Stacy.
This is to my husband, Sporty Black at Wainwright Unit. Hey, baby boy, this is Wifey kissing you our tuck in. How's the day been for you? I'm just through placing on the Johnny Come Lately post on all the platforms as well as other sites. Yeah, baby, it's a nice day out there. It isn't the 107 temps we expect to get the weekend, but it's nice. Baby, I know the cell is sweltering there. Keep hydrated, boo. The girls are behaving. May has been outside all day. Mimi's been hanging around inside with me. Yeah, baby, I'm out here all yours. Boo, it's that time. Remain healthy and safe. Stay focused and tough. I love you so deeply, Sporty. Mwah. Take care. Mwah. Love you, boo-boo.
All right. Thank you, Stacy. Now, how many of y'all out there have filed grievances and had it come back and they say, oh, we lost that grievance? Well, it was brought to my attention by Mr. Russell. Hey, Russell, see, I got it. I printed it out. Inside of the Supreme Court of the United States, on the 18th, they handed down a very rare victory for prisoners. And I'm not going to even try to pronounce it, so I'm going to spell it PERTTU versus Richards. So basically, they appealed the prisoner. Filed a 1983 suit against a rogue prison employee who had a history of sexually harassing inmates. When the grievance was filed, it became lost, as we all know that this happens. When the 1983 suit was filed, the district court immediately dismissed for failing to exhaust via 42 U.S.C. 1997E. The Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals ordered an evidentiary hearing. Of course, the issue of prison officials losing inmate grievances was supported by a predominance of the evidence. And they reversed the initial dismissal, saying the issue needed to be decided by a jury. The state appealed that. The Supreme Court just sided with the Sixth Circuit. After this point, whenever TDCJ loses a grievance, which is shown to be a part of they're retaliating, that issue must only be resolved by a jury when the 1983 suit is filed. And we all know that happens quite a bit inside TDC. They lose grievances. So I know I'm going to get mail saying bring it on. Bring it on. All right. Now we have Carmela.
Evening Business Show. I'm sorry I got disconnected or whatever earlier. I'm having major phone issues. Anyway, thank you for taking my call again. And I'd like to make two quick shout-outs. The first one is to Marcus Mullins in the Dieball unit. Hi, Marcus. I hope you're doing okay. You're staying cool as you can be, and getting plenty of fluids. I hope everything is progressing forward for you, and I hope you had a good Father's Day. Everybody's doing okay here. Father David went on the road to Amarillo Wednesday, I believe. I think he's back now, and I think all of his newest chicks have hatched. And the family's doing fine. I really admire Mrs. Jennifer for holding, quote-unquote, holding the fort down while he's gone. she's really got her hands full. I'm kind of in quarantine from going into the house because fleas. The fleas are really bad, and because my cat kept going outside, he was infested. Unfortunately, he's missing. It's been a little over a week, but I'm working on trying to find him. Keep doing it in your prayers or thoughts. And you have a good weekend. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and keep your chin up. And just know you're loved. I think about you every day, and I wish you were available to help me do things. Father David's very helpful, but he's got so many irons in the fire. So you take care, and hopefully, Lord willing, I'll be able to call you next week or call in to say hi. See you next week. Take care and have a blessed week. The second shout out is to my nephew. Excuse me, I've got a brain. You know what? Bradley Leland Aiken. He's at the San Saba unit. I believe he's still there. Hi, Bradley. I hope this finds you well and that you're staying cool and safe. Just take care of yourself. I hope that your case is moving forward positively. I think about you every day, and can't wait to call in and give you a shout out. I hope somebody is letting you know if they have a radio. I don't know how to get a radio to you, but maybe I can work on that. Just take care and know that you're loved, and I do love you. Just have a good week. I'm having a tough time right now, but that's okay. Just take care and drink plenty of fluids and stay cool as best as you can, and have a good week. I love you. Good night. Good night, Prison Show. Thank you for allowing me to call in, run my mouth, and thank you for all that you do for all the inmates and all the families. Good night. Traveling Grace home.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too. Good night.
Good night. All right. We still have some open lines at 713-526-5738. Option number 2.
I bet option number 1's still available.
No. Oh, my. I wish I could throw something at you.
I gave you a list earlier. We ought to thank all them folks.
Oh, yeah. Let's thank some people for
You got it handy?
I do. I'm migrating over to it right now. Let's see.
Like
we
a
have
flock of seagulls.
Yeah, that's right. We have. Want to give a great big thank you to Elizabeth, to David, to Jameson, to another David, Jason, Kevin, Jason again, Gloria, Leslie, another David, and Roberta. Thank you very much.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Those 2 listings for Jason is the reason why he got the book.
Oh, awesome.
He got that book, Prison Survival Guide by Richard 3RD.
Awesome.
Commissary Necessary.
I love that song.
I wish I could sing it, but I can't.
No, please don't.
We need to get her on here. She'd come in here and sing that song.
I bet you she could. Yeah.
She's in Houston. She's in H-Town.
Well, work on it, David.
She's listening to us right now. Tell her, Dani.
Come on. Come on down. Get in touch with David.
Come on down.
Get on this show so you can sing it live. But right now we have Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Yeah. There we go. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hello. Good evening. I just want to give a shout out to Isidro and say hello to everybody there too. Hi, Mijo. I just want to tell you I love you, and I'm sorry Daddy missed your call, but we called in tonight so that way he can say hello to you. Love you. Good night, and here's Dad.
Hey, mijo, just calling to talk to you. Hopefully you can hear me. But we'll be seeing you this next Thursday. So I love you. You take care of yourself. And good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Good night.
Good night. You know, Polanski did something really nice. They took photos for Father's Day this past weekend, which was really cool. They didn't do it at another unit that I went to.
Only at Polanski?
I mean, there could be other units that I'm just not aware of, but when I told them at the second unit that, you know, Polanski was taking photos, and she had an attitude with me. This is Estelle. I'm like, yes, ma'am, I know that. I was just wondering if y'all were taking photos, because Polanski's doing it. But anyway, that was...
So just because it's a still means they weren't going to do it?
I guess not. They, you know, hey, Estelle. they weren't very chipper.
They're special. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
they're special. But, you know, anyway, they did that. That was really cool that they did that. And then Thursday...
They listen to the show, right? Estelle does?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen their name several times.
Oh yeah, no, the guys over at Estelle, they all, and you know what, the ones in high security, they all listen. Since we got on Edovo, they've been listening, obviously, because they couldn't catch it before.
But I was thinking about their Facebook page.
Oh, the Facebook page?
Yeah, they log in quite often.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and yeah. Yes, they do. How you doing, Warden? How you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
Did you see that sad thing I sent you about California?
I did.
There's like 20 different prisons that have some
hunger strike.
It's because there's some restrictions that they're adding on them. I mean, they're going from having a little bit of freedom to being locked down most of the time. And so they said, nope, we're not going to do that. They're going to go on hunger strike instead.
Well, and I mean, it's kind of like that with TDC. They're, you know, and we obviously have a letter about it tonight that if they get caught with, you know, any kind of drugs, then the whole section gets locked down. It's not just the person who got caught.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of other shows that are podcasts and whatever that talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I've experienced that the whole time I was locked up. I mean, it wasn't like a policy that they would do, but they do it anyway. And we'd always say it wasn't fair. And they, you know, that's their way of getting you to put in a snitch 60.
Right. Well, now they have a snitch 1-800 number. Well, they have it on the tablets where they can call. But I think that was pretty much several officers were, you know, they were snitching, saying, hey, the guy over here just, you know,
dropped a load.
He dropped a load on you. But they're still locking down the whole section. So regardless if you snitch on your neighbor or not, they're locking down, and you're part of that.
Well, they just passed in legislation against that, right? Up in the penalty if you get caught bringing stuff in or whatever.
Yep, they are up and
it's not just for the inmates.
You know, they used to. No, it's not.
Yeah, I seen Charlie Maloof. He was testifying.
Yeah, it's really, you know, it's gotten to the point where, you know, just like the Telford 7, those 7 officers and rank that got caught there, and then they got out on bail, and then they got arrested again.
While they were on bail.
Well, well, not all of them, a few of them for organized crime, because I guess that was not one of the charges originally. This was the ranking officers, I believe.
They're accused of conspiracy to smuggle contraband.
Yes. Well, they're calling them the Telford Seven.
Yeah, that's what I just pulled up.
Yeah. Yeah, they nicknamed them that after the Texas Seven. That whole.
Were there actually 7 officers?
Yes.
And they're all female.
Yes. Gives us a bad.
Well,
it would. They were. Yeah.
We were looking at that one where they had the post where they had all that contraband on the table, and they blamed it on the older lady.
Oh no! Come on. Yeah, they arrested
all those people there, but she's the one that brought it in. She was.
Yeah. Yeah, with the oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has to have oxygen to even get around, but yet she's the one that did it all.
Well, she was manufacturing it.
Oh, come on. Maybe she needed the hospitalization.
That's why she needed the oxygen. Oh, Lord.
Let's go get caught so TDC will have to pay my hospital bills.
Yeah, because we all know that they do a great job. Medical.
You know, my doctor, my cardiologist, he actually goes down to Hospital Galveston, and he told me the other day that he gave me his email address, his personal email address, and said if we wanted to interview him, he'd be welcome to come down. He said that all the doctors aren't like the TDC doctors. He said there's a lot of doctors that go down there and actually work, and they're actually professional, good doctors. So, yeah,
okay.
I'm like, well, I don't know that I've ever met any.
I know.
So most of the doctors in TDCJ got a bad rap because it was, you know, most of the guys say, well, they couldn't make it in the free world or whatever, you know, and that's why they work for TDC.
Absolutely,
So,
that's what they say.
Yeah, but I got a good doctor, and he's young too. So I mean, I don't think he's been through the system like that. So I'm not sure. It might be good to get him on here. Maybe we could corner him and ask him some good questions.
I would love that.
Well, it's almost that time. Not quite, but almost. You know, it's been a very good show. We just started out, we didn't have good luck with the callers. I don't know what it is about that machine over there.
I don't know. I think it has a hex on it or something.
I don't know. I mean, you could hear the people in the background, but yet they weren't talking or whatever. So it was kind of like, eh. So anyway, look, y'all stay tuned. Skylar Dawn and DJ Chill, they're going to be on with Damage Control. And, man, I think Mike said it's some kind of summer solstice or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
So y'all keep an eye out whenever you go to breakfast this morning. Look up in the sky and see if you see any difference. It's supposed to be like the shortest day of the year or something like that. I don't know.
It's the longest
day of the year?
Yeah.
I thought that was at Christmas time. I thought that was
that's
winter
the
solstice.
the shortest day.
So I got them backwards.
You did.
All right. Well, in the meantime, Damage Control's coming up with Skylar Dawn and DJ Chill. Y'all stay tuned and have a great weekend, man. We appreciate y'all.
Have a great weekend.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you at visiting hours next week. Mama ain't been doing too well, I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you get released. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. It's prison on the